Snapchat, Instagram, Twitter, and more. Follow Elliot in the Morning everywhere social at EITM Online.
How are you, sir?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good, thank you. I feel like it's a better time to be Dominic Howard than it is to be me. You got a brand new record on the way. Things are getting ready to fire up in a big way. It's a good time to be you.
It's exciting, yeah. We're like chuffed to be approaching another tour and the kind of like album release date, which is always, an amazing time to actually, show everyone what you've been working on and get it out there and let the fans hear it. So we're pumped and ready for it next week.
Yeah, I was going to say, so Will of the People will be out officially next Friday. I've gotten a chance to listen through the record a couple of times. As I'm sure you guys feel, the record's great, man. It really is.
Thank you. Yeah. We, we're certainly proud of it and love it. And, we've been, excited to release it, but working on that for the last, year, 18 months or something.
Hey, I was reading, Dominic, at the, a lot of the writing when it went on, like you said, it's been 18 months, almost 2 years that you guys have been working on it, that a lot of it was done that when the band started working on the record, a lot of it was done. COVID had just kind of started and was breaking out. There was a lot of social injustice that was taking place, at least in the U.S., there was a lot of politics going back and forth, and that kind of framed at least a little bit of the mindset for the record. Is that fair?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, there was obviously a lot going on around that point, and there was a lot of the record was done in Los Angeles. We very fortunately were able to just set up our band studio there. So, just a few months after the pandemic had kind of, was washing around all over the world, we were able just to kind of get in there and use the studio and to kind of help alleviate the weirdness of the pandemic. So we were lucky to have that. But obviously, as you say, there was all sorts going on, with that, like you'd say about the social injustice. There was even just looting. It seemed like utter chaos at one point. It all felt like it was going a bit Mad Max, So, that and among other things, all of those, seeing that, witnessing that pretty firsthand from the studio was, a bizarre thing. So, dealing with how you feel about all those things was very much influential to, Matt's lyric writing for the record.
Hey, so Dominic, let me ask you this. You used a word in describing all of that, and I feel like whether it was something that I read, either coming from Muse or written about Muse, is that, and it was said in a positive way, so I hope it comes off that way, where when you listen to the record, you can almost hear a little bit of chaos in the way that the record was done. You have to... it's good to try and find chaos when you're making music, and finding finding an edge of something feeling a bit unstable means you're probably moving in the right direction or working on the right idea. I think we used to have that for sure. I think we had that when we play live. It's and we always did have from an early stage and kind of became slightly aware of it. But when it's kind of on the brink of chaos or falling apart almost, it's in a good area that's creating a lot of good kind of tension and emotion, I suppose. So, if you can find that in the studio, which we try to in, just within, production or performances or however it may be, and it does come across at the end of the record. Yeah, a little bit. My dream for Muse is that song, You Are Effing Effed, becomes the most played song in Muse history, just so I can watch disc jockeys squirm, like I just had to do, trying to figure out how to say the goddamn thing.
Yeah, sorry, apologies for the language. You'll have to bleep that. But, I know. It's funny you say that because I just showed it to a friend the other day, and he was listening to it. And he's like, "I just hope that becomes the biggest song on the record."
Number one.
We'll see. But it's it is pretty good, and it's almost a contender to. I mean, it obviously ends the record, but it could be a really good contender to like end the whole set with when we play live. So we were just rehearsing it the other day, and it's certainly a lot of fun to play. So we're kind of looking forward to playing that in October for sure.
You know what song I really want to see live? There's a couple of them on there. I mean, listen, Muse live is a great experience, but there's a couple of songs on there, and I think you would agree. Kill or Be Killed live has to be ridiculous. Won't Stand Down live has to be ridiculous. And I know that you've had a chance to play those. Is it a great feeling belting those out and just watching people go nuts?
No, absolutely. I mean, it's to be honest, the whole record is really, really awesome to play live. So, I mean, I imagine, I don't know whether we're going to play every song off the record, we'll see, but we certainly want to play most of it. But yeah, tracks like, we were playing Kill or Be Killed this summer before it was even released. So it was really, it was cool just to see the reaction to it with, from the audience of listening to a song that they've never heard before. But it kind of like everyone got it straight away, and like the circle pits just opened up. And I think over the course of the tour, which was just like 6-7 weeks across this summer, early summer, like it had obviously been shared by YouTube or whatever with the fans, and like the people really started to get to know it just from sharing it, which was wicked to see. But yeah, they're extremely heavy, so they're definitely fun to play.
I was going to say it's a little bit heavier than Muse has been in a while, but it feels really good.
Yeah, I feel like we've certainly not been this heavy for a long time. I think we've managed to find a new level of heaviness that we haven't touched on for a while. So, and I think a track like Kill or Be Killed is definitely might even top Stockholm Syndrome, which has always been pretty high on the charts of heaviness for us at least. So. Yeah, it's definitely up there, and same with Won't Stand Down, really. But it's nice to still be able to find that heaviness. Because to be honest, it's like it's the band's default that we go to whenever we just jam or improvise or play together. Like we instantly go to the riffs. It's just what we've always done. So we kind of feel like we've really captured some of that on this record.
Hey, Dominic, so you said that the band when you guys did the record and you were working on Will of the People. That you did a lot of the writing and you had a studio in L.A. Did you record part of it at Abbey Road?
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we did some there as well. So kind of probably the majority was in L.A., but we did some in London. Yeah, we kind of holed up in Abbey Road for a little while, which was just that place is insane. It's obviously so famous, but it's just got just a great energy there, and it's. It's a busy studio as well, so there's lots of people hanging around, but yeah, it's an amazing place.
But I was just going to ask, and I mean, listen, Muse has obviously been around long enough and is very successful, but is there still something cool about rolling up to work and walking into Abbey Road Studios to go work on a record?
Absolutely, it's extremely cool, and it's it's just completely iconic. But it's kind of like a TARDIS as well. Don't we? That thing that Doctor Who flies around in, because it looks like a normal building or kind of house from the front, and then you walk through, and it goes on, and there's like the huge Studio One in the back, which is all purpose built, is just huge. That's where they do all the orchestras and stuff like that. But yeah, it's an incredible place. I mean, we actually worked there a little bit on our second album in Studio 2, which is the famous, Beatles studio.
Right.
So it was cool to, we kind of went and checked it out this time. We didn't go in there, actually worked in Studio 3 this time, which is one we hadn't worked in before. But I mean, it's just a epic place. It's just got such a great feel when you roll up.
Do the three of you still, like when nobody's around, walk out, make a quick right, and go stand in the middle of the crosswalk and ask a stranger to take your picture?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we've done that loads of times. You have to. Yeah, and you feel like a tourist when you arrive because there's always so many people like outside, like either drawing on the wall or taking pictures. But you kind of like walk through the crowd and go in and yeah, it feels pretty good.
I love that. Hey, Dominic, let me ask you this. I was reading an interview that Bellamy did, and he was talking about, and I think this is awesome. He was talking about having bought one of Jeff Buckley's guitars, and I love Jeff Buckley, but he had bought one of the guitars, but he didn't want to put it up and like as almost like a museum or a showpiece, if you will. But he wanted to play with it and uses it a little bit on the record. Do you have anything like that? Like, have you bought something? Like, I don't know that I've heard of somebody doing that before, but I really like that story.
I know. I mean, I don't have any. I don't have any like famous drums or anything like that. Unfortunately, no. I've got loads of drums, but yeah, no. That guitar is like, it's amazing. I kind of take the piss out of him that it's not real, just to kind of get on his nerves. But he's like, oh yeah, this is Jeff Buckley's guitar, and yeah, he recorded Grace, the album Grace with it, and I'm like, nah, bollocks. No, he didn't. Fake. But it is a wonderful guitar and sounds great, and it does feature on this record quite a bit. So it's it's nice that it's getting used if it is real. That it's rather than just being displayed and too worried to touch it. But it's pretty awesome.
I know you guys have the October theater tour coming up, playing the Beacon Theater in New York on the 16th. Obviously, it's sold out. I don't know I hope it's exciting for Muse, because for a fan of the band to be able to see you guys in a small venue like that, that's an amazing experience. Yeah,
well, for us, it's an amazing experience, very much so as well. It's playing all different venues is wicked, but small venues, there's obviously, everyone says the same thing, but there's a different energy that seems to kind of translate between about your that close. And yeah, it's something we still, with every so many years, we always like to kind of do smaller venues just to kind of not forget how that feels. Because, if you get a bit used to either doing just festivals or stadiums or just arenas or whatever it is, you kind of, they're also awesome and tend to be more about like the show and the production.
Right.
But, it's sometimes great just to go back into a venue where it is only about the music and performing, and it's not about, video screens or like flying spaceships around the audience or whatever it is, or it's just purely about the music. So for us, that's an amazing experience because you can just see and feel the audience enjoying just that, which is ultimately, what we do best.
You know what festival I was just thinking about the other day when I knew that we were going to be talking to you? And I mean, listen, we never ran into each other there by any stretch of the imagination, but we did the show from the Dubai Desert Rock Festival when the year that you guys played it. Oh my God, was that amazing. I don't know if you guys had a good time, but that was amazing.
Yeah, well, that was a long time ago, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah, it goes way back. But I remember, they pulled out all the stops. I remember, it was so ridiculous. We were on, a bar that had been lifted by a crane into, 100 feet in the air. And I'm up there going, Jesus, what the hell am I doing here? And I'm looking down and going, oh, my God, Muse is putting on a pretty good show right now.
Oh, right. Well, it sounds like you had a good view.
And so now
that's an interesting place.
Let's go back to let's look forward to next Friday when the record comes out. Will you be one of those people, Dominic, that will kind of keep an eye on how everything is going, or do you just kind of let it go out into the ether, if you will, and whatever happens?
I'm sure we'll all be having some secret little looks online to see what people are saying about it. You can't help it, but yeah, I mean, it's just, it's a surreal time when you release a record because, you've heard it so many times, you've worked on it a lot, you're proud of it, you think it's amazing. And then all of a sudden it's not yours anymore. It's not your secret. So it's a slightly anxious time releasing the record, but it's exciting. It's great. I can't wait for people to hear it. I mean, we love it a lot, so it's going to be fun. And like I said, we're just, once people have heard it, then we can go off on tour and play all the new songs, which are really exciting to play as well. So we're pumped about it.
Hey, will you track how the NFT edition is doing?
I'm sure someone will tell us. Yeah.
It's okay if you don't understand it. A lot of people don't.
Someone will tell us what's going on. Yeah.
All right. Well, listen, Muse, Will of the People will be out next Friday. The October theater tour, October 16th at the Beacon Theater in New York. That is completely sold out. Dominic, I appreciate the time. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me, and nice to chat to you guys.
You got it. Thanks, Dom.